Here are 25 movies to watch on Martin Luther King Civil Rights Day. Number 25, Ghosts of Mississippi. A district attorney and the widow of a murdered civil rights leader struggle to bring a racist to justice. Starring Alec Baldwin, James Woods, Virginia Madsen, and Whoopi Goldberg. Number 24, The Long Walk Home. Two women get involved with protesting against inequality during the 1955 bus boycott in Montgomery, Alabama. Starring Sissy Spacek, Whoopi Goldberg, Dwight Schultz, and Ving Rhames. Number 23, Till, based on a true story of a mother's relentless pursuit of justice for the brutal murder of her 14-year-old son, Emmett Till. Starring Danielle Deadwyler, Jalen Hall, Frankie Faison, Haley Bennett, and Whoopi Goldberg. Number 22, Just Mercy. A renowned civil rights lawyer goes to Alabama to defend a man wrongfully sentenced to death despite evidence proving his innocence. Starring Michael B. Jordan, Brie Larson, Jamie Foxx, and O'Shea Jackson Jr. Number 21, The Hate U Give. A teenager must stand up for what's right after she witnesses the fatal shooting of her childhood friend at the hands of a police officer. Starring Amanda Stenberg, Regina Hall, Russell Hornsby, and Common. Number 20, Fences. A frustrated father tries to raise a family while struggling with the constraints of poverty, racism, and his own inner demons. Starring Denzel Washington, Viola Davis, Stephen McKinley Henderson, and Russell Hornsby. Number 19, Judas and the Black Messiah. An FBI informant infiltrates the Black Panther Party and is tasked with keeping tabs on their charismatic leader. Starring Lakeith Stanfield, Daniel Kaluuya, Dominic Fishback, and Jesse Plemons. Number 18, Green Book. A bouncer is hired to drive a concert pianist on a tour of venues to the Deep South in 1960s America. Starring Viggo Mortensen, Mahershala Ali, and Linda Cardellini. Number 17, A Raisin in the Sun. Following the death of their patriarch, a poor family tries to determine what to do with a substantial insurance payment. Starring Sidney Poitier, Claudia McNeil, Ruby Dee, and Louis Gossett Jr. Number 16, Black Klansman. A black police officer and his Jewish colleague run an undercover operation to infiltrate the Ku Klux Klan. Starring John David Washington, Adam Driver, Topher Grace, and Alec Baldwin. Number 15, In the Heat of the Night. A black police detective is asked to investigate a murder in a racist southern town. Starring Sidney Poitier, Rod Steiger, and Warren Oates. Number 14, 42. The story of Jackie Robinson, the legendary baseball player who broke Major League Baseball's color barrier and endured unrelenting racist hostility on and off the field. Starring Chadwick Boseman, Harrison Ford, Nicole Beharie, and Lucas Black. Number 13. Do the Right Thing. On the hottest day of the year, on a street in Brooklyn, everyone's hate and bigotry smolders and builds until it explodes into violence. Starring Danny Aiello, Ozzie Davis, Ruby Dee, John Turturro, and Spike Lee. Number 12, The Help. An aspiring author decides to write a book detailing the African-American maid's point of view on white families for which they work. Starring Emma Stone, Viola Davis, Octavia Spencer, Bryce Dallas Howard, and Jessica Chastain. Number 11, Loving. An interracial couple is arrested and banished for their marriage, leading to a legal battle that ends at the U.S. Supreme Court. Starring Joel Edgerton, Ruth Negga, Michael Shannon, and Nick Kroll. Number 10, Remember the Titans. A racially integrated football team becomes the unifying symbol for the community when two men learn to overcome their differences and turn a group of hostile young men into champions. Starring Denzel Washington, Will Patton, Wood Harris, and Ryan Hurst. Number 9, Get Out. An interracial couple visits their parents for the weekend, where their overly accommodating nervous behavior leads to a series of increasingly disturbing discoveries. Starring Daniel Kaluuya, Allison Williams, Catherine Keener, Bradley Whitford, and Lil Ray Howery. Number 8, Hidden Figures. During the early years of the NASA space program, 3 brilliant mathematicians worked on one of the greatest operations in history. Starring Taraji P. Henson, Octavia Spencer, Janelle Monáe, Kevin Costner, and Kirsten Dunst. Number 7, 12 Years a Slave. A man struggles to survive while trying to maintain his dignity after being abducted and sold into slavery in the pre-Civil War United States. Starring Chiwetel Ejiofor, Michael Fassbender, Lupita Nyong'o, and Benedict Cumberbatch. Number 6, The Butler. During his tenure at the White House, a butler has a unique perspective to a series of major historical events that affect his personal life, family, and society. Starring Forrest Whitaker, Oprah Winfrey, Mariah Carey, John Cusack, Jane Fonda, and Cuba Gooding Jr. Number 5, Mississippi Burning. 2 FBI agents investigate the disappearance of a group of civil rights workers in a divided small southern town. Starring Gene Hackman, Willem Dafoe, and Frances McDormand. Number 4, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. When a woman brings her fiancé home for dinner, her shocked parents must confront the racism and seemingly insurmountable problems of the impending marriage. Starring Catherine Houghton, Sidney Poitier, Katharine Hepburn, and Spencer Tracy. Number 3. Malcolm X. After his imprisonment in the 1950s, a man becomes a controversial activist and influential leader in the struggle for black liberation. Starring Denzel Washington, Angela Bassett, Albert Hall, and Delroy Lindo. Number 2. Selma. Despite violent opposition, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and his followers pressed forward on an epic march from Selma to Montgomery to secure equal voting rights. Starring David Oyelowo, Tom Wilkinson, Carmen Ejogo, Tim Roth, and Oprah Winfrey. And before we get to number 1, please subscribe for more videos like this or leave a comment if I missed something important. Number 1. To Kill a Mockingbird. A widowed lawyer defends a black man against fabricated rape charges while standing up against events that exposed his children to the evils of racism and prejudice. Starring Gregory Peck, Mary Badham, Brock Peters, and Robert Duvall.